Edmonton's growth isn't just inevitable, it's an opportunity. The Urban Growth Case Study shows new communities like Windermere and Heritage Valley will add over $3.2 billion in assets and generate $309 million in annual property taxes. With that in mind, let's now turn to our panelists and attendees to hear the insights, takeaways, and perspectives they're bringing forward from today's discussion.
The biggest takeaway I've had is that our communities have really changed over 30 years. We're talking about two neighborhoods that are the sizes of cities themselves that have grown to over 170,000 people. There's a lot that goes into that growth and development. Things are going to be different in the future again, and we have to take lessons we learned from the past to do better going forward.
The biggest takeaway today is that growth truly does pay for growth as long as we're intentional about how we grow and we focus entirely on the return on investment that it produces for both our private industry and the City of Edmonton.
I think one of the biggest takeaways from the group was the importance of collaboration and relationships and just being open to change, because that's the one thing that's guaranteed in our industry going forward. And as long as we work together to work through those changes, I think we'll be successful.
Cost of growth in the City of Edmonton is an important subject matter. We are here, we're collaborative, we are passionate city builders as developers, as industry in general.
This case study, wonderful program, something that I've been dealing with for a long time. And what that has to do with is trying to get information, try to get the right information, and try to counter misinformation in terms of cost of development, especially when it comes to new communities and new development. So what we have here is a lot of hearsay. People say no communities don't pay for themselves, new communities are too costly to run them, the taxes, the infrastructure. And again, when I say hearsay, it's because none of those studies or anything have been quantified. It's been a lot of opinions, and again, depending on what side of the ledger you're on. But this is why it was key. Really, really important and wonderful for BILD Edmonton to take the lead on this, to get real data, real information, and say, hey, where are we at? And regardless what the outcome was going to be, there should be the catalyst to have, let's sit down and see what things are working and what things aren't working.
From the study itself, I realized that the densities of these neighborhoods, there were a few of them that were very close to a lot of major inner city neighborhoods. That surprised me. Like suburban, it's largely low density, and somehow the densities are competing with inner city neighborhoods. And two, most of these neighborhoods in Heritage Valley and Windermere, the densities were actually bigger than the city average. So one of the weird findings that we stumbled into is those neighborhoods from the early post-war period, so late 40s, 50s, and 60s, the densities are quite low.
The big takeaway from today is that growth is good for Edmonton, and we need to start looking at the data and the numbers behind it that help support the growth of the future of the city. Really, what was really surprising to me is looking at the collaboration between the city and developers, and also how collaboration affects the communities, like growing the communities within the neighborhoods that we're building.
Thank you, Lindsey, Crystal, Mark, and Nathan,